Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to share my thoughts on luxury scarves, particularly the winter scarves, and whether they're worth it. I like to do a lot of follow-up videos on items that I add to my collection. A lot of times I'll do a first impressions and then I'll do a is it worth it. A lot of these pieces I purchased before I really made videos on YouTube, so I thought it would be helpful to do more of a collective review on luxury scarves in general, luxury like winter accessories in general. In case, we are in winter in the northern hemisphere and it's also like the holiday season, a lot of times these winter accessories will be gifts. So I hope you find this helpful in figuring out which ones you may want to add or, avoid. I think I'll start off by sharing a quick overview of the winter accessories that I own, and they're from a variety of different houses. When it comes to scarves, of course, we cannot forget Hermes. So I have this large cashmere silk blend, and this is like the 130, 140 centimeter ones. These are the really, really large ones that are 70% cashmere, 30% silk. So I have this one. I also have this kind of skinny cashmere scarf from Burberry. It's in their classic kind of print, the checkered print. This is many, many years old. Almost 10 years old. And then I also have this beautiful, vibrant scarf from Fendi. I think this is wool. Yes, this is 100% wool. And it's like a reverse colorway on the back side. Of course, the F would be inverted, but you can kind of wear it both ways if you need to. Last but not least, I have this LV scarf. This is the giant monogram jungle print scarf that came out last year. And I thought it was limited edition. I think I still see some of these available. So if I do, I will link them down below. But this is the other kind of heavy duty winter scarf that I have. This composition, I think it's wool. 74% wool, 26% silk. So it's a wool silk blend. The silk is going to be on the inside of the monogram. And then the one other kind of luxe winter accessory I have is this hat. This is from Chanel. I purchased this summer from the latest fall winter collection. I know this isn't a scarf, but a lot of the points I'm going to be making are very similar across scarves or hats. It's mostly around winter accessories. So even gloves could be part of that as well. So that's why I thought I'd just show that this is in my collection. So those are all of the pieces that I have currently in my collection, and it's going to serve as the basis for a lot of the points that I want to share. When we get to the most foundational layer of, functionality, these scarves definitely keep you warm. The winter accessories that these luxury fashion houses make will definitely keep you warm. Why? Because a lot of them will focus on wool, cashmere, maybe some silk in there to lighten the fabric a bit, but they will use those kinds of high quality yarns to make warm knits. So they will be lighter because wool and cashmere, these kinds of fibers, are a lot lighter than something like cotton. They'll be lighter, but they retain heat better, so it keeps you warmer. But you don't need to get a cashmere scarf from Chanel, let's say, to keep you warm. You can get a beautifully made cashmere scarf from somewhere else, and it will keep you warm. It will keep you warm not because, Chanel has some patented technology that like makes the scarf warm or anything. It's purely in the fabric, in the yarn that they use to make their pieces, right? So from just a pure functionality standpoint, you don't need to get luxury winter accessories. You can find items that perform at a very similar level at keeping you warm from non-luxury brands. The focus is really, the key is really being mindful of what it's made out of. So you want to stay away from like acrylic knits because they'll give you that same fluffy look, but they don't retain heat very well. It's not a kind of fiber that will do that. So it won't keep you as warm. That's why sometimes you'll be wearing a sweater and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm so cold. And then sometimes you'll wear a sweater and you're like, I'm sweating inside the sweater. That's why. It's because of the composition. So if you're purely interested in keeping yourself warm and you don't care too much whether, you know, your winter accessories from a luxury house, then I'd say save your money. Don't spend it on like a Louis Vuitton scarf or a Chanel scarf or any brand really, but instead like find high quality pieces that are made with similar fibers. A lot of times when it comes to luxury, we're not exactly just buying it for pure functionality. A lot of times there's this like feel good factor, you know what I mean? Personally for me, of the pieces that I have in my collection, I love every single one of them. I like wearing them. I do find that they do keep me really, really warm. Like my Louis Vuitton scarf, I'm usually super warm wearing this, and I don't even need to fully wrap it around. I will sometimes just wear it like a sash and it keeps me super warm. So like especially on days when I'm wearing a coat and not so much like a puffer jacket, I feel like this just looks really nice draped over and adds a nice like finishing touch to a whole outfit. From that standpoint, I really feel like these kinds of luxury accessories are really nice in adding either that pop of color or that edge, right? That slight element that really elevates your outfit. These are perfect for doing that. There are some that are kind of loud with like full monogram, and then there are some accessories that are like really, you know, low key. You can't even really tell unless you get up close. Can be a great accessory to augment your wardrobe. As you build out like your collection, I think it is helpful to have a diverse suite, if you will, of accessories. So they're not all just, you know, Chanel CC earrings. They're not all just the Hermes click bracelets. They're not all just, you know, fashion jewelry, but you can also have like some shoes in that mix and some scarves for the winter time. Maybe there's a necklace piece that you like to wear, or a brooch, or a hat, or something. I feel like having that kind of variety really increases the amount of looks that you can put together. For me, it also stimulates the way that I dress. Like it makes me kind of think about different ways that I can incorporate all of these pieces so that I, you know, get a different look. Or maybe it's the same outfit that I wore before, but now it's accessorized with a different scarf or a different color accent, right? And then the whole outfit can look very different. It can feel very different. And so in that aspect, I feel like these luxury scarves are really great for that. Personally, I feel like these scarves, these luxury scarves, are really great as a gift because there's so much utility in them that the person is very likely to use the piece to still get some function out of it. I think you get what I mean. Like these are very functional and useful in that aspect. So I feel like they make very great gifts. That's another piece that I wanted to like fold into this video as sort of a pro, or maybe a different angle to view these kinds of scarves and hats and gloves and things like that. Yeah, like I've had some of these pieces for a really long time and I've used them year after year. What I think I like the most about some of these luxury accessories is that they will be a bit less trendy, if that makes sense. So you're less likely to get tired of them. Admittedly, this is a bit loud, but I still feel like animal print overall is pretty classic. And the colorway is pretty classic. It's on a black base as well, so it's not too like in your face. This one is just all black, like super easy to wear year after year. You know, it's not in like a trend color like, you know, lilac or yellow or something like that. It is in a really classic colorway. Like the Burberry scarf with the classic check is just pure classic, really. That's why this has been in my collection for like 10 years and I still wear it. I still enjoy having it in my collection. Like something like this Fendi scarf too is also, it's like in a really classic red color, and this Fendi logo is actually pretty iconic from that collection that was now a few years ago. Fendi still has this logo. I may imagine in 10 years from now they may no longer use this kind of logo, but I feel like it's still not that obvious. It's not that in your face, crazy with it being like an F like that. And if you really need to, and if it bothers you, you can always just use the other side, on the side that doesn't have a logo. So when you are considering getting some of these kinds of accessories, I would think through some of those options, and try to make sure you don't get something that's too trendy. I feel like the luxury houses do a better job of making pieces that are a bit more classic. Although recently I feel like, you know, Vuitton's been really doing a lot of scarves. They did some with like the Gaimon collection as well. So, you know, in between there'll be some sprinkling of like really iconic, like from iconic collections, like the Steven Sprouse stole from Louis Vuitton. Like that's really iconic that people will still remember. I feel like I'm rambling a lot, but I want to make sure that you consider those things before you purchase, right? It doesn't mean that all your accessories have to be black. That's not what it is either. It's not necessarily, you know, you just have to think about a super classic color. It's more thinking a bit broadly about the pieces that are in your wardrobe and what would complement well with the pieces that are in your wardrobe. Because even though trends come and go, it's going to take a lot of effort for you to totally change out your wardrobe, right? So if you think about your whole wardrobe, your whole closet, and the color palette that exists there, what colors would complement all of that, and then you can go from there. So net, are luxury scarves, winter scarves, really worth it? I say yes. I say yes because they're very well made. They will be made with fibers that are guaranteed to keep you warm. They are often in very classic colorways or silhouettes that you can wear for years to come. So, you know, you have one and you can wear it for years and years and years. It's a great way to accessorize your outfits. It's a great way to change up some of your existing outfits. A lot of times I feel like there's this really good like feel good factor, you know, that comes from, you know, adding that finishing touch, adding that extra edge to elevate your outfit. So I think they're worth it, but I do try for the most part to keep my luxury scarf purchases to be around the $500, $700 range. Honestly, that's the most I want to spend on a luxury scarf. But like these Hermes scarves, these large ones are usually, I think, over $1,000. I managed to get this at the Hermes sale, which is why I love it even more, because I got it for like 50% off pretty much. And I'm so happy that I have one in my collection. But honestly, if I were to build a whole collection around just these kinds of scarves, I would be broke tomorrow. That's my kind of cutoff point, if you will. That's kind of my limit. If I were to find a pattern that I really loved in this cashmere silk, then maybe I would get that one. But there would be a lot of considerations that go into it before I make that purchase. Those are my thoughts on luxury scarves. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear whether you feel like luxury scarves are really worth it, or winter accessories are really worth it or not. If you like this video and you found it helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time,